Yeah, they seem to be taking definitely a lot softer line on China than they are here in Alberta, where they're playing hardball with Premier Smith over the electrical grid, even though that China, their grid is absolutely enormous, but they get about 63% of their electricity from coal. They burn about half the world's coal doing it. And in fact, most of that coal that actually goes to China flows through Vancouver. The Port of Vancouver is one of the largest coal exporting ports, definitely in North America, but also in the world. So it is a little bit ironic. And he's a vice chair on this panel, right next to the man that used to be the chief of staff for Xi Jinping, who's like number 6 on the Communist Party hierarchy, and who's in charge of administering Hong Kong. And we all know how that's going. People in Hong Kong are rushing to get out basically because of all the repression that's going on. So it does seem a little bit odd, that Monsieur Guilbeault would take this title, that he would even accept a title on this working board, even if it is ceremonial or regardless of even what it hopes to achieve.
Yeah, this body is, I don't know how much of you guys have seen of this, but it's an apparatus of the Communist Party, the CCP, and Guilbeault has an official position on it now. And all this takes place in the background of very, very serious allegations of Chinese communist interference in Canadian elections. Is he just not seeing what we're seeing? Is he just in politics, it can be hard to get perspective of yourself. It happens. But I have a hard time seeing how Guilbeault and the Liberals don't take one look at this and say, at the very least, this is a bad look, that we're going coddling the Chinese, talking to them real nice and gentle about global warming while we're trying to crush Alberta and Saskatchewan here. But we're going to go coddle the Chinese and join, as a senior member, an apparatus of the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane. What is Guilbeault thinking? You say, I think it's quite possible that he is a sort of a hair-shirted idealist. Probably he doesn't see the conflict, but there are enough people in the Prime Minister's office and in the Privy Council office who would absolutely see that this is a crazy thing. They would have been warned, and they're doing it anyway. And I just want to sort of emphasize something that Sean just said there about the absolute irony. The Liberal government will not allow Alberta to export natural gas to China so that China doesn't have to build so many coal power generating stations, but they got nothing to say about Roberts Bank, where this coal is going offshore to China, to generating stations, and apparently polluting the atmosphere.
I would add too, Nigel, Seattle won't touch it. So the reason a lot of that coal is coming through Vancouver is because the American ports on the West Coast won't touch it because they're shipping coal for electricity to China.
No, it's an absolute when you look at these kinds of contradictions within government policy, never mind within the world at large, but just within government policy, you have to wonder what is the animating spirit within that government.
Yeah. Guilbeault comes by here not that long ago to Alberta, and he refused to meet with senior energy executives who ostensibly will have something to do with his grand plans for Alberta's energy grid, but just not interested in meeting with them. But he'll go meet with communist butchers who are actively involved in undermining Canadian democracy. No problem. All right. Thank you for joining us, Sean.
Thank you.